Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at how you can take just a plain wall and turn it into something really striking. That kind of industrial, polished, concrete look. You know the style, right? That raw, but kind of refined loft style vibe. If that's your thing, well, this deep dive is definitely for you.
Okay, let's get into it.
So the video jumps right into priming, and it highlights a specific primer one with fine quartz filler in it. Now, usually primer's just primer. What makes this quartz stuff so important for this faux concrete effect?
Good question. That's where the material science kind of comes in. See, that quartz filler isn't just like an extra ingredient. It actually changes the surface of the wall.
How so?
Instead of being smooth, it creates this very subtle, kind of gritty texture.
Okay, so after the primer, we get to the microcement. This is the real base layer where that concrete look starts appearing. The video shows them tinting it with black pigment to get that specific gray color, not just any gray, but that authentic concrete tone.
Yeah, the color is important for the final look.
And the application technique seems really key here. They use both wide and short spatulas. You put it on, and then this seems critical while it's still wet.
Has to be wet.
You use the short spatulas to compact it, but also to intentionally make runs, dents, scratches, all these imperfections. That sounds weird. Like, aren't you usually trying to make things smooth? How do you make flaws look good?
Yeah, that's the big aha moment for this style, isn't it? It goes against everything we normally think about a perfect finish.
Right.
But here, those aren't mistakes. They're deliberate. You're basically sculpting the wet material.
So sculpting, okay.
Yeah, those little runs, the trowel marks, the scratches. That's what gives it that brutal concrete character after it dries. It looks worn, authentic, like real industrial concrete.
So embracing the imperfections is the point.
Precisely. It's about capturing the nature of the material.
Gotcha. And the video mentions an alternative material too, right? If you can't find microcement.
It does, yeah. It suggests moisture-resistant white tile adhesive. Or even marble adhesive.
And you can tint that too.
Yep, tinted the same way. So you've got options, which is always good for a project like this.
Definitely good to know. Okay, so the microcement layer dries. You've got your textured kind of rough base. What's next? The refining part.
Right, now we start moving toward the polished aspect.
So the next steps are these intermediate treatments. First, a light sanding, but just locally.
Yeah, not sanding the whole thing smooth, just knocking down any like really sharp bits or high points gently.
Okay. And then a deep penetrating primer, liquid, transparent, over everything. The video says that takes about, what, 2 to 3 hours to dry?
Roughly, yeah, depending on conditions. And this primer is different from the first one.
How so? What's its job?
Its main job is to consolidate that microcement base. It kind of hardens it, stops any dustiness, and crucially, it seals the surface. Makes it uniform, so the final coat goes on evenly.
So it preps it perfectly for the delicate top coat, like sealing the deal on the foundation.
Exactly. Creates a stable, non-absorbent platform. Really important for the Venetian plaster that comes next.
Okay, Venetian plaster. The video calls this the most interesting part. This is where the in polished concrete really happens.
It absolutely is. This layer transforms the look.
So just like the microcement, you tint this with black pigment for that gray color. But there's a huge tip here, something the video really stresses.
Let me guess, it dries lighter.
Bingo. Significantly lighter. They really emphasize doing a test patch first.
Oh, definitely. You have to see how that color shifts as it dries.
Otherwise, you could end up with a wall that's way paler than you wanted. Better to learn that on a piece of cardboard, right?
For sure. Add more pigment if you need to before you hit the main wall. Save yourself a headache.
So why Venetian plaster? What makes it special for this?
Well, it's designed to be polished. That's its whole thing. It actually contains marble filler, ground marble.
Marble.
And that marble content is what allows you to buff it up to a real shine, a natural kind of deep gloss. Pretty amazing stuff.
Creates that contrast with the rough base underneath.
Exactly. Matte and gloss, rough and smooth.
And the application method is different too, not just one smooth coat.
Right. You apply it in smaller sections, kind of patchy almost.
Why is that?
So that some of the underlying microcement texture still shows through in places. It creates that variation, that depth, makes it look more like aged, worn concrete rather than just a flat painted surface.
That makes sense. And the video puts this in context, saying it looks great in like a living room.
Yeah, they show it complementing things like houseplants, wood furniture, parquet floors.
So creating that whole loft style interior.
It shows that symbiosis they talk about.
Symbiosis.
Yeah, the ruggedness of the base layer working with the polishable shine of the top layer. That contrast is what makes the whole aesthetic work. It's dynamic.
Cool. Okay, so the Venetian plaster is on, it's dried. Now for the main event, the polishing.
Yep, unlocking that shine.
The video gives a couple of tool options. You can use a traditional Venetian trowel, right? With pressure.
You can. That's the classic way. Take some elbow grease.
But for like a more intense shine, they recommend a small angle grinder.
Yeah, with specific sandpaper attachments.
Okay, let's get the details. The video mentions grits. 500, then 800, 1,000.
And finishes with a worn-down 1,500 grit disc.
And the idea is higher grit number, smoother polish.
Exactly. Just like polishing anything, you gradually refine the surface, step by step.
Makes sense. Now, there's a big safety warning here about the grinder.
Oh, absolutely critical. Cannot stress this enough. The grinder must have speed regulation, variable speed control.
Why is that so vital?
Because a standard angle grinder spins way too fast, unregulated high speed. It's incredibly dangerous for this kind of work.
How so?
You could easily lose control of the machine, risk of serious injury. Plus, you'll almost certainly gouge or burn the plaster surface you just spent all that time applying. Control is everything here.
Okay, so speed control is non-negotiable.
Absolutely non-negotiable.
Got it. So assuming you have the right tool, what's the technique? Low speed.
Moderate speed, actually. The video suggests around the 4th or 5th setting on the dial. Not full blast, but not super slow either.
And you just move it in circles.
Smooth circular motions, yeah. And the amazing thing is, you see that shine appear almost instantly. It's really satisfying.
I bet. That mirror finish just pops out.
It really does.
All right, so we've polished it. Looks amazing. What's next? Gotta clean it first.
Yep, essential step. Get all that polishing dust off. Soft cloth, slightly damp, or even dry is fine. Just get it clean for the final protective coat.
And for that final coat, the video gives two options. First one is a special wax.
Right, a wax specifically formulated for Venetian plaster.
And you dilute it.
Yeah, 50-50 with water, according to the source.
Huh.
Makes it easier to apply evenly.
How do you apply it?
With a short nap roller. They mentioned a parquet roller, like 4-6 millimeter nap. Really short fibers. Gives a thin, even coat.
Okay. And then you buff that wax.
You do. Using the angle grinder again, still on a controlled speed.
Speed control, always.
Always. But this time with a natural sheepskin polishing bonnet attached.
And that does what? Adds more shine, protects it?
Both, really. Adds protection, makes it more durable, and enhances that subtle sheen from the wax itself.
Okay, so that's option one. What's option two if you can't get that special wax?
Acrylic lacquer, a water-based one.
Easier to find, maybe?
Probably. And the big plus is you dilute it a bit with water, roll it on, and that's it. No buffing required.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And you can usually get it in matte or glossy finishes, so you can choose the final look. That's a good way to put it, yeah.
So, wrapping this all up.
Yeah.
What's the big takeaway for someone listening, thinking maybe they could try this?
The video makes a pretty bold claim, actually. It says, achieving this pro-looking, loft-style finish. Well, it doesn't require special skills, knowledge, or abilities.
Yeah, it's pretty empowering.
It basically says all you need is the desire, the right tools, especially that speed-controlled grinder and the basic materials. Microcement, or even just that tile adhesive.
It makes it feel achievable, you know?
Definitely. Takes away some of the mystery. And, you know, this whole process, it really makes you think how these fairly simple materials, plaster, primer, wax, when you combine them thoughtfully with a clear idea, you can turn something totally basic, like a flat wall, into, well, a piece of art.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what other everyday stuff could be transformed if we just looked at it differently. Applied a bit of creativity. What potential is hiding in plain sight?
That's a great thought to end on, like finding the art in the ordinary. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive.